Have you ever found yourself in the gym or at home trying to work out and your mind is just racing and you can't seem to get it together? You can't seem to get those thoughts in order to really focus on your workout. Well, I'm talking all about that in today's episode. Strap in, get ready for episode 239. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. For my return listeners, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me that you continue to tune into this podcast on a week-to-week basis. If you have not checked out our Facebook group, please head on over to facebook.com/groups/Bones to Bulk, or you can just search Bones to Bulk on Facebook. It's a great group, and we've got some amazing people in there on all levels of the journey, from beginner, intermediate, advanced. We have other trainers in there. Like, it is a great one-stop shop for really advice, encouragement, getting a kick in the pants, and there's no negativity, no BS in there, because guess what? It's not allowed. So if you're looking for a great community to get plugged into on this journey, definitely head on over there and check it out. With that being said, let's dive in. All right, so mindset and your thoughts is such a crucial element to just basically staying the course when it comes to fitness. You know, so much of this game is mindset, because yeah, the physical comes into it, obviously, when we're working out and exercising and all that, but like, especially with food, it's all mindset. And I know for me, if I'm having a crappy day, if there's a lot of stress going on in my day-to-day life, or if there's stress going on with, my family or whatever it may be, just, life, then my workouts suffer. My healthy eating suffers, because we can't just say, well, my body is not connected to my emotions. They're all intertwined. And so when the emotional, mental capacity is drained, then guess what? It's going to affect the physical layer. It's going to affect what you're able to do in the gym. It's also going to affect your willpower to eat healthy, to stay on track with your food. You're going to be more likely to emotionally eat. And whether you want to admit it or not, we all have a tendency to emotionally eat from time to time, or emotionally drink. And this stems from childhood. I notice it already with my own kids. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they had a bad day at school and they want something sweet. They want some comfort food. And it's crazy, because we get used to this from a very young age, and it progresses and increases, and it becomes a habit, and we don't even think about it anymore. We don't realize what we're doing. We don't even realize that it's a crappy day and we're coming home, and it's a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night or whatever night, and it's not our cheat night, and we're just grabbing whatever snacks we can find, and we're pouring ourselves a couple drinks, and this keeps up for a couple days and a couple more days, and it becomes a habit. And then all of our fitness goals go down the crapper, because guess what? We're just completely off track and we're wrecked. So I don't want us to just snowplow over the snowplow. I don't know why I use the snowplow, because I live in Georgia and we never get snow. Anyway, so you don't want to just steamroll, that's a better word, over the fact of our emotions and our thoughts really, really play a huge role in our success when it comes to fitness. And so you may be thinking, okay, well, that's all good and grand. I'm glad I know that. But how do I solve that problem? How do I keep the stress and the emotions and whatever else from overwhelming me to where it affects me negatively? Well, that's a difficult thing to do. And I don't think there's one, quick fix solution. Just like there's not a quick fix to changing your physical state, there's not a quick fix to changing your mental state. And it takes daily practices. It takes doing things to strengthen the mindset. We live in a very tumultuous time, using big words today, and things are crazy. Like, every day there's something crazy popping up in the news or whatever. And it can place a lot of stress on you. You get drawn into arguments on social media, people arguing about this, and then you're, fighting for something that you're like, wait, how did I even get caught up in this? I really don't even care that much about it. And I've been guilty of this myself. So it's like, we've got to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, because I think we get so focused in on these little things that in reality, do they really matter to my day-to-day living? Or can I remove this from my life? Can I get myself to a place where I'm not saying you're not going to be confronted with things, but maybe not confronted quite as much. I'll give you an example. Over the last, I would say, year, maybe a little more, I've unfriended a lot of people on social media. And I don't mean this in like a negative way or anything like that. It's just I've got to protect my mental space. And so if there were people that were constantly posting very negative things, regardless of like the belief behind it, I'm just talking about just being negative in general about, X topic and this topic and this topic and this topic, that wears me down because I'm seeing that it's in front of my eyes and I'm constantly taking in negativity. And then you start reading the comments and the more negativity that follows, it's just not a good place to be in. So I've become a really good friend with that unfriend button because let's be honest, first off, a lot of these people are people I don't really know. They're just friends online. You know what I'm saying? And second off, I know that for me, it really helps my mental state. And what I found is you can curate your own feed on social media. You can curate what you see by being selective over who's in that space. And the reason I say this, I'm not trying to say like, oh, go unfriend everybody right away. No. I'm not trying to say that. Like there's a difference between someone having different beliefs or standards or whatever than you, and maybe you just disagree with them, and someone who's just constantly putting out negativity. There's a big difference there, and you kind of have to draw that line. And don't feel bad about it. Like you have to do what is best for you. You really do. And it's okay for someone else to live their life how they want. I have no judgment against them. It's just I'm not going to bring that into my mental space. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's how you think, cool. Like, you're free to think that. I have nothing against you, but personally for me, I am going to protect my headspace because I know that I need it. I know there's a lot of other things in my life that I may need to direct my energies and thought processes to, like my family and my work and my fitness and, the myriad of things. I say this to encourage you to not feel like you can't change your surroundings because you can, and oftentimes you need to. Find people that are like-minded. Find people that are striving for more. I think one of the scariest things is people who become complacent. And I'm guilty of this at times. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't have this all figured out. But when you're comfortable with how things are and you don't want anything different for your life. And, this doesn't mean like you have to have these huge goals and I'm going to, change the... I'm not saying like... But just something like, hey, I want to be a better spouse. I want to be a better son, a better daughter, a better sibling. I want to be a better employee. There's always ways we can improve in every aspect of life. Every aspect. I want to be a better parent. I want to be better at fitness. I want to be whatever it is, better at playing the guitar or whatever your hobby is. You've got to be doing things to grow and stretch yourself and kind of get outside of the box, because don't get me wrong, we want to protect our space, but we don't want to build up walls to where we never experience anything outside of what we know. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, I'm going to not just let strangers come in my house, but I'm also going to go out of my house and experience the world and experience new things. So it's kind of like that, like protect your space and make it a place where you're not bombarded. But at the same time, you need to be searching. You need to be growing. You need to be learning new things and discovering new things, because that's how we progress in all areas of life, not just fitness, but for fitness for sure. Because this is very true in life, but it's very true in fitness. We can stagnate in fitness. We can get to a point where we're not learning new things. We're doing the same thing over and over and over, and it gets to a point where it doesn't work anymore. Same as in life. So I hope this is encouraging for you. Get outside, your four walls, discover some new things, look at things with an open mind, with a different perspective, and learn something. I mean, we have unlimited knowledge at our fingertips. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to search through that database of knowledge, aka the World Wide Web, to find out what's accurate. But, take the time to dig and really figure things out. And not just take something face value because, it's what you grew up with or you heard it or it's what you've always done. So I hope this encourages you to kind of stretch yourself a little bit. Again, we have a great Facebook community. If you're interested in joining and being a part of that community, you can head on over to Facebook, search Bones to Bulk, or facebook.com/groups/Bones to Bulk. I will have that linked in the show notes. Remember, above all else, whatever walls you're facing, literal or mental walls, you can bust them down, you can discover new things, and you can freaking hit your goals. You've got this.